Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com. This is episode 127 of Photo Critiques. Now I'm sure you guys have heard I'm not accepting any new images for critique. If for some reason you didn't hear, there's a link in the description of this video. If you click on it, it'll explain why I'm not taking any new images and what I'm going to be doing instead of critiques. Now I will be doing the critiques for a while. I have enough to keep me busy through February and into March. Now, as I mentioned, this is episode 127, and in this episode I'm pleased to critique the work of Rocco Bellino. And Rocco told me all these shots he took recently in Canada of the ice storm they had up there. And now I don't know whereabouts in Canada he lives, but I know they had a pretty bad ice storm in Ontario a month or so ago, and not far from where I live actually. And this shot's very nice. I like the processing. I like the effect, and it's real nice, very nicely focused. It was 1/4000th of a second, f at 2.8, ISO 100, 150 millimeters on a 7 to 200 millimeter lens, which is an excellent lens. A couple things on this shot though is from the processing we get this kind of glow, as you can see over here. This glow, we have some sensor spots. We always have to get rid of those, and those come out a lot more when you process in black and white. The sensor spots usually come out, real dark, so we have to clone those out. Also, from the processing we have this kind of ghosting right here, and you could clone that out too. There's also a couple little more sensor spots I think right there. This is a very nice shot. I actually like this one better. This is the same scene, just a little further back. It's 85 millimeters, same other settings, I believe 1/4000th of a second f at 2.8. yeah. And I like this one better. We're just seeing more of the structure and more of the scene, more of the trees, the sky even a little more. Now we do have some more sensor spots here, and we really have to get rid of those, and some of that ghosting here. Also, which is unusual, there's a lantern or a lamp hanging in this one and not in this one. And it's the same exact scene. I was looking at the down trees here and the benches, and they're in the exact same spot. So I'm not sure how that lamp got there all of a sudden, but it's kind of interesting. And I like this one better though, not because of the lamp. I just like it better. I think it's a better shot. Seeing more of the scene, we get more visual clues of what's going on. Whereas here it's a little less visual clues. In this one we just have more to see. So I think it's a really nice shot, and I do like the processing. You just got to clean it up a little bit. This is a nice shot too. The ice storm kind of made the composition, the ice on these trees. This is another one too. If you could work the scene, we have all these down branches. These trees with the ice on them seem a lot more interesting than these trees, so you kind of minimize the stuff you don't think is as interesting and maximize the ones that are interesting. So if you could work this scene. Also, it was 200 millimeters on your 70 to 200 millimeter lens, so maybe you could have zoomed out a little bit or used a different wider angle lens, and you could have had different effects too. This shot here I like a lot, but it's just almost perfect. We have this tree is just cut off over here, and we have this overhanging tree here. Now this is 70 millimeters on your 70 to 200 millimeter lens. I'm wondering if you have something wider, in the 15 to 30 millimeter range, and you could get down closer to this tree. And what it will do, let's say you were at 20 millimeters for the sake of argument, it would push your background further away when you took the shot, and it would tend to make this tree stand out a little more as you're closer to this tree. So what I'm implying is you get closer to this tree, so it's about the same size in the frame. When you do that, all these trees though will appear further away because you're using a wider angle lens, and you'll eliminate these up here because you're closer. This will probably be behind you now. So again, work the scene with different focal lengths in this place, and make sure you get all of this tree in, and try to minimize all these dark trees because they just come out so dark. So maybe you could scooch over to your left a little bit and shoot more to your right. Of course, that's going to change the angle of the light, but it's something to try and to work the scene. This is a nice shot too. This was at that 70 millimeter point again. I think this one too would have been better served if you were closer with a wider angle lens to push this background further away. Because when you're at 70 millimeters, everything's at 70 millimeters, right? So the background is at 70 millimeters and this tree's at 70 millimeters. But let's say you're at 20 millimeters if you have a lens, or something even a little wider, and you got really close enough so this tree is about the same size in the frame. All of this stuff though is going to look to be further away. It's going to be a little more in focus, but it's going to be further away, and I think it would make this put more emphasis on the subject, which is this tree right here, and it won't fall into the background as much. It's another one, nice shot. I like it. Now we have some dark trees here, which really are nice. It helps with the light sky in the background. Nice contrast. I like the processing. Very nice shot. There's so many interesting things with all this ice. This is like a photographer's dream, working the scene, getting dozens and dozens of shots. And very nice though. I like the shot. This shot's very nice. It's a little more wintry without the ice compared to the other ones. See, there's not as much ice on the trees, but we do have all these down branches. So it's a nice shot. I like the composition, and the processing is not, the processing's more straight black and white, whereas the other ones were a little more arty. And when I say arty, let's go back to like this one again. You can see how it's a little more higher contrast. There's a little more noise in the sky. There's it's a little more arty looking. We just got to get rid of those sensor spots again. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed with sensor spots apparently. Okay, so this one's not bad at all. And this one here is probably my least favorite. I saved it for last only because I liked the composition. I mentioned in previous post the snow, when it's really like this, trampled on, it never looks as nice. And whereas you overcame it with the earlier shots is because the ice was so dominant. See here, and you minimized it, how small it is here, this snow part, but you have this maximized. So why this shot is superior is because this part is really interesting to look at. This ugly part where the trampled on snow, you minimized it. Whereas in this last shot, it's more getting all of this snow, which is probably I'd say 60% of the frame is this snow with the trampled on. Also from the processing we got that glow I talk about, where you get this glow around trees and stuff, and it's prevalent because it's a little bit backlit, but you can see this glow here. So it's just a little bit too much clarity and sharpness and contrast on this scene. So that's it for Rocco. Thank you very much. It's very nice shots, and you recorded the problems they had with this ice storm up in Canada very nicely, very artistically, and very well done, Rocco. And I'd like to thank you for sharing your images with us, and thank you everyone that watches all my videos. I really appreciate it. And when you guys have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. I got all kinds of photography stuff over there, and I'd really appreciate it if you go over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.